of our bright star is cast.
Dr. Antonio B. Jones has spent his life answering the divine call to serve. Antonio is the 10th of 12 children, born to Bishop Alexander and Annie Jones Jr., who instilled a sense of humility at a young age. Antonio is an Air Force veteran, realtor, minister, and dedicated public servant, carrying a work ethic inspired by his father. Family, service, and love are his guiding principles. For more than 25 years, Antonio has been married to Amicia, who is also a Fayetteville native and public servant. Amicia works in healthcare and administration with the Cumberland County Department of Public Health. Together, they parent two young adult sons, Joel and Antonio. And for more than a decade, their humanitarian endeavors have led them to engage in global mission efforts and the work of economic sustainment in third world countries. Ooh, Dr. Antonio Jones.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. That kind of woke me up. Well, good morning, good morning. This is Dr. Antonio Jones, and I'm here for another segment of Dialogue with the Doc on our council conversations. And I'm glad that you're here to join us. And we have a lot to share today. And before I know we open up in prayer, I have a special guest with me. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself in just a moment. But can we pray? Can we pray? Father, we thank you now for this time and opportunity you've given us once again to come before you to share and disseminate knowledge and wisdom and information, God, to the community. We ask you to cover our community from the infants, God, to our older population, God, and everyone in between. We thank you now that we are a thriving city. We are a safe city. We are a city, Father, that is responsible in governance and, Father, that works together for the betterment of our future. We thank you now. And Father, as we release on today, we thank you now for even for our guests that will be here and those that will be listening live and those that will be listening subsequently after this, God. We thank you for it now. We thank you, lastly, God, even for Wes. We continue to keep their family and to continue to pray rather for the entire WIDU family during this time. We thank you now in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. But again, we thank you so much for joining us for Dialogue with the Doc. I'm excited to be here on today. How are you this morning? I'm going to toss it over to Ms. Jennifer. I want her to introduce herself and just share with us your organization. Then we'll jump into our updates. And again, as I told you before, please ask questions, and then we'll dig in a little deeper because I want the community to really know about the great work that you're doing. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So I am Jennifer Jones, founder of the Julia Maye Community Foundation, right here on the north side of Murchison Road. I am from Fayetteville, so being a part of Fayetteville, pouring into Fayetteville, and having that exchange just means a lot to be here. And I thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And she is on my district. Part of my district covers, again, the north side of Murchison Road. Think of it from I-95 towards Spring Lake, pushing towards. Then, of course, it combines. Part of that turns into county. Then it turns into District 4. And so we're glad to have you there to represent that side of Murchison Road, because some of the things, even before running for council, even 22 beyond, they were like, what about this side of Murchison Road? So we are not forgotten about. That's one of my focuses, is to ensure that not only in my district now, but I do pay attention to my district, because again, you elected me, you put me there, and that's part of what I'm supposed to do. And so I want to make sure that we are represented and that we receive resources that are needed. And again, even in a time where resources are becoming not scarce, we're going to have to be extremely frugal and intentional. Let me use that word with our funding. All right, so I'm going to jump in with some updates. It's been a busy week since our last time we were here. If you all have seen, we meaning the council, we went up to Washington, D.C. to advocate for some of our priorities that we want the federal government to help fund. So one of the key things I do want to share, I'm very candid and open, each administration on the federal level brings its own priorities. And so we have some great lobbyists that help do some work, and then we have to do some work ourselves. One of the things I want the public to know, whether it's state, federal, or local, the same premise stands, which is they love your presence. When you come and you share directly with them what the residents are sharing, what you want to do, it goes a little further. It really does. And so I want to share that. But one of the things that we advocated for, and we'll move on from this, several things, our OCS, Office of Community Safety, there were some community grants, I believe around the $4 million range there we were advocating for. One of our major priorities that we went for, which is the Murchison Choice Initiative. All right, so a few years ago, this is a long history, so I'll make it very short. Back in 2022, that was one of the last times that was the community engagement aspect, where we had individuals come in to share what they would like to see along Murchison Road. If they had certain amounts of money, where would you put it? And so all of that went into that particular grant. It was submitted then. We did not receive it at that time. However, it did come back. This particular administration opened it back up, and so now it is there to the tune around $26 million. And so it will impact, for the most part, the entire Murchison Road, but going from downtown back towards this way, back towards, Murchison Townhouses. And so this is a generational this is a grant of a lifetime, if I could say that. And so we advocated for that on Capitol Hill. My fellow council members, DJ Hare, the dean, as we call him, and CM Malik Davis, they advocated with our federal housing department, and I went to Capitol Hill for with our federal senators and House members to advocate for that. So I know we did an outstanding job. So I just wanted to bring the community up to speed on what that looks like. And it is necessary. You have to advocate. Just like on the local level, individuals come in to advocate for their purposes, we have to do the same. So I'm excited about that, because I am believing in Jesus' name that we get that grant, because it is life-changing. That'll be about an 8-year plan. However, it will change the trajectory not only of Murchison Road, but of Fayetteville as it relates to economic development and how our communities operate.
That grant, that is where the people who listen can go on the city website and see the plan?
Absolutely, absolutely. You can go to FayettevilleNC.gov and you can pull up that information, and you type it in, you will see it, and it'll lay it out. And we actually had several community meetings and things of that nature, so I wanted to bring everyone up to speed with that. I believe we're going to get it this time. We did some major steps. Again, at the end of Murchison Road, we have an 84-door apartment complex that's coming up that council approved, I think, in early January or December. I can't remember the exact time frame, but that showed the government, hey, Fayetteville is vested. And we're not just asking you for this money, we're also invested as well. So that's one of the things that we've done. We have strong partnerships with our universities, with our hospital system, and of course with our community. That community aspect was key. And lastly, and I'll get off of this, we hired one of the best grant writers for this particular grant initiative. She is 4 for 4, you all. Her company, every time she's put one in, she's gotten it. So we are believing that we are going to be number 5, and the work will get done. There's some beautiful plans, so we look forward to hearing some updates on that later as they progress with that. Secondly, as it relates to some of our meetings, I'm just going to toss some things out there because I definitely want to hear what Ms. Jennifer has to say. One of our last few meetings, I'm just going to comb through that. We renewed the school resource officer program, our contract there. That's been renewed. And this is reimbursed, of course. We pay, and that part is reimbursed back. But one of the key things that I'm excited about, we had to take away red light cameras some years ago in 2022. That was a hard decision we had to make because it does statistically proven that it saves lives. And so there were some federal lawsuits that were going on, and so they had to be removed. So I think those are all but done now. So there is a great likelihood that we'll be bringing those back. I'm excited about that. So all of that is tied in there as well. Also is an opportunity for our Office of Community Safety. You all hear me saying that a lot, right? Mm-hmm. All right. That's a key because I really believe in this department. There's some possibilities where they can actually work within the school system, and I know they'll be working with the applicable parties for that. And that's that cross-governmental partnerships that we need, just like what you do in your business. You know, you have a sect of the population that you deal with and certain things that you do to partner with other individuals without anyone saying, you know what, I want my name first. So I think that's key, the partnerships. All right. Next, and I'll hold data centers for the last part of this because I know that was a big topic, a big topic. So I'm not skipping it. I'll hit that. But one of the key things that we did address was the city council policies, policy number 120.09, and that dealt with the announcements and recognitions. And for me, let me give some context really quickly. It dealt with the televising of that first meeting, that work session, which is a work session, is a regular meeting. It is a regular meeting. We just do a lot more engagement than we would on the second and fourth Mondays. So that first Monday, we really dig in. And to me, again, I invite the community out. If you can't attend in person, definitely join in online, but you really get to see some in-depth conversation. I mean, we dig in, ask staff a lot of questions. I'm going to ask questions in the regular meetings, but you dig in, but you really get a chance to see us at work. And so one of the things that came forth, because it wasn't televised, it was only audio. And so the community in general, I mean, that we received some interesting feedback. And when I say interesting, I mean passionate about, hey, we need to see that. And as that relates to the recognitions, like if we brought you in to recognize you for your work, it was only audio for that first time. We made that change about about 2 months ago. So your family, your friends, even if they were out of state, they couldn't see you. They could only hear you. And so I did make a motion that those meetings on the first Monday, that they are televised, not just audio. Televised, because again, I think it's important that the public, when they take the time to come out, especially during the public forum part. The public forum part was really key for me, not just audio, it needed to be video. And I'm excited that the council overall, we voted to receive that motion, but I made that motion because I wanted our community to know, look, if we have an opportunity to I didn't want the effect of anyone's public speaking to be downplayed, if that makes sense. So we opened it up. So now it will be televised, and it will provide the audio portion. So I was glad to make that motion, and definitely thank City Council for seeing it. And I know it may take a little bit more work, but at the end of the day, for me, again, it's the community.
I really appreciate it.
You can pull up a little. We want to make sure we hear that great word that you're getting ready to speak.
I think having it televised is really important, especially when you want to be a part of it, but your work schedule will not allow it. You still get to, a lot of people have their headphones or their earbuds in, and you can still listen. And then you also have the transcript that a lot of people are not aware that you can pull up and read as well as follow
Say
along.
that again.
That the transcript is available from the city council meetings, the public forums online too. So I appreciate that part, because sometimes I'm not available. You send out invites and it's like, oh man, the schedule doesn't allow it, but having it televised, I get to go on YouTube and watch it live. I get to pull up the transcript and see what is going on. So there is still a way that the city makes sure that they're being held accountable and that you get to hear and be a part of what's going on, even though you're not there physically.
Okay, outstanding, outstanding. Because there's a lot of information out there, and we're really working hard. We're really working hard. And again, I speak for me because I believe all of my council members and mayor and things of that nature, I think we really do want to put our best foot forward. And so as it relates to Jones, I can only speak for Jones. That's one of the things they teach you early. You cannot speak for another council person, and I understand that. But for me, that's one of the things that I really want to make sure. What's within my power to do for the community, I would do it. Some things, I need 5 people, of course. I call it what? It takes 5 to stay alive. It takes 5 people to get something pushed through. All right, so next, I did put forth a council request for us to review, for staff to review our thresholds for the bus stop benches and shelters. This is very important to me because I don't know how many of you have ridden by bus stops and see individuals out there standing in the rain, somebody that may be in a wheelchair, and it's raining and it's with children, and you're standing out there for X amount of time. So that's been an issue for me even before council, and we even had some individuals that we were partnering with back in 2021, 2022, where they wanted to help donate a bench, not advertising, because you can't do that. NCDOT won't let you do that. But they wanted to contribute money for a bench. So there's a process. There is a way where you can help sponsor those things, and you would need to contact FAST, Ms. Tiffany Neal, for that. There are some opportunities, but for the most part, DOT has a lot to do with that, meaning they have to give approval for some of these sites, a lot of these sites. So I put forth a council request, and a council request, Ms. Jennifer, is simply an audience, is something where if we as individual council members want to put something forth for the entire council to consider, because remember, one person can't make a decision. None of the 10 of us can go to the city manager and say, hey, do X, Y, and Z. It has to be a collective council decision. And so I put forth a council member request basically to reduce those thresholds. And I'll give these very quickly. Currently, to get a bench at any site, you have to have 6 or more daily boardings. So you have to have that in order for you to have a bench and a trash can. All right, now you're talking about a shelter, the full package, you have to have 15 or more daily boardings. Well, we're growing out our transportation system to be a system of choice, which means we want you to ride it. We want you to make a conscious decision to ride our bus system to work, to your entertainment, whatever it is. So that's going to take some forward thinking, some additional forward thinking, pushing service out to the west, things of that nature, but I'm going to stay on task. So those are the benchmarks. So my request was to go back to staff and say, hey, can we reduce this so that we can push out more benches and trash cans, and then for those that are on the higher road shelters. I wish I could do them all. I really do. For example, I think a shelter roughly runs about $20K by itself just for the shelter. And you'll see some of the newer shelters, they'll be gray in color. Some of the other ones had like the terracotta roofs on it. Those are some of the older ones. And lastly, before I move on with that, if you ever go by a site and you see a sign up that says inactive, but you might see a bench there. Well, one of the reasons why we have to do that is because the Federal Transit Authority, NCDOT, let me put it like that, not the federal side. If you remove that bench, you're going to have to go through that process again to get it recertified. Okay. That makes sense? So it's just good stewardship of money. It just makes naturally good sense. So I'm proud to announce that City Council did, my counterparts did vote to push that forward. So I was glad to bring that forward because community, we're thinking about you. And especially where you are, Ms. Jennifer. I know you have a lot of individuals on your side. Matter of fact, Merchants Road is one of our busiest fast bus route. So I wanted to put that out there. So thank you, council, again. And city, I wanted you to know that's some of the things that we have been working on. And sometimes, those city council requests, and I'll say this and we will shift on.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because Murchison Road completely is one of the busiest bus routes. How can the community of Murchison Road get behind you all with getting more shelters and benches?
I'm so glad you asked. One of the things that you can do is email every last one of us and say, hey, we saw this council member request about shelters and bus stops, and we support it. We are encouraging you all to appropriate funding to support it. The community, you all can do that. You can send in emails to all of us, city manager, all of us, and let us know your vantage point on that. So that's very key. So, and as it relates to council member requests, as we put them in, the mindset is, again, you have to get at least 5 more people to vote on it. And sometimes some may say, well, I wouldn't even bring it forth if I know I don't have the 5. I'm not that person, to be honest. I'm going to be honest. If it's something I feel very sincere about, I'm going to bring it forth. And if it doesn't get through, it just doesn't get through. I mean, I don't take anything personally. People vote the way they want to vote. I have no issues with that. I'm going to vote the way I need to vote. So I don't take anything away from that. But I'm not going to not bring something viable forward, even if it seemingly doesn't have the support, because again, you as a community, you need to know what I'm thinking about. I'm talking about Jones, I can speak for me. You need to know my thought processes, what I'm doing, what I'm attempting to do, and things of that nature. So it's for me, it's at least worth a shot. It's at least worth a shot. All right, well, we're going to take a few moments and we're going to come back and have about 5 minutes more of updates, and we're going to jump in with Ms. Jennifer here, and we want to hear all about your organization. So you're listening to WIDU 1600 AM. You're listening to Dialogue with the Doc on Council Conversations. God bless.
A planned fight between two groups of youngsters turned into a fatal shooting at a Winston-Salem park on Monday morning that left 2 people dead. Winston-Salem police say the shooting happened at the Lineback Park near a middle school. State lawmakers headed back to Raleigh today as the General Assembly's short session gets underway. North Carolina is still operating without a budget. It's a continuing resolution still in effect from the 2023 budget. A grandson of former Duke basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski now faces charges in a fatal crash in Durham last Saturday. Joseph Savarino charged with driving while impaired. President Trump's nominee to be the Fed chair about to meet the Capitol Hill Grill today. Kevin Warsh set to testify before the Senate Banking Committee. Ahead of possible peace talks in Pakistan, both sides are rattling sabers. It's unclear when or if that session will get underway. Tony Bixby, NCN News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Fayetteville Police Department detectives with the homicide unit have gotten arrest warrants for a suspect in connection with the homicide of Tony Chance, which occurred along the 700 block of Blue Street on Monday, March 9th. Detectives have obtained warrants for the arrest of Jordan Chancellor Whipple. He is 33 years old, out of Fayetteville. Whipple has been charged with first-degree murder. Detectives are encouraging family and friends of Jordan Whipple to have himself turned in to law enforcement. Detectives also ask anyone with information about the whereabouts of Whipple to be cautious and contact law enforcement immediately, as he is considered to be armed and dangerous. The Cumberland County, North Carolina Cooperative Extension Master Gardener Volunteer Association invites you to their annual plant sale at the Crown Expo Center. It is this Saturday at 9 a.m. Browse a wide selection of locally grown plants, vegetables, herbs, houseplants, and seed packs to help your garden thrive. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
Tuesday morning, it's a cold start out there. It's another one of those days where we'll have to peel away at the layers, and you'll see that again heading into Wednesday. For today, we're mostly sunny, and high temperatures reach about 65 to 70 degrees. Overnight, mainly clear, temperatures 45 to 50, so not quite as cold. And we're partly cloudy, breezy, and warmer heading into Wednesday. Highs in the low to mid-80s. Partly cloudy Wednesday night, lows in the 50s. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN Weather Center.
It's celebration time again for all freshmen in high school through freshmen in college. Come join us at Faith Tabernacle Christian Center for Prom Night 26. Our guest for the evening will be Christian rap artist Mike Teasy. This event will take place Friday, May 1st at 7 p.m. and is designed exclusively for high school freshmen through college freshmen. Commemorative photos will be taken and can be purchased the day of the event, so dress your best and come ready to have some fun. Admission is free, but you must register to attend. Register on our website at ftccenter.org, or you can call the church 910-865-5252. Church groups and schools are welcome, but you must register as well. Doors open at 6 p.m., so come early and participate in our red carpet photo op. Let's celebrate your accomplishments for this year by joining us for Prom Night 26. For more detail, call 910-865-5252 or online at ftccenter.org. Space is limited.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robinson, Hope, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
This April, during Line Worker Appreciation Days, we celebrate our hometown heroes, the public power line workers who keep our communities powered and connected. From powering homes and businesses to restoring service after storms, public power line workers show up every day, rain or shine, to keep the lights on in the communities they serve. Join us in saying thank you to these dedicated, skilled professionals by visiting electricities.com/thank-a-line-worker.
Pastor E. Kenneth Wells, Locks Creek AME Zion Church. You're listening to Wake Up.
This is Bishop Johnny Ray Jr. of the Churches of Worship Worldwide, Apostle J. A. McDonough, 2118 Owen Drive. And we are proud to be a part of the Wake Up. Come and join the team.
All right, welcome back to Dialogue with the Doc on 1600 AM WIDU. We are here again. This is Dr. Antonio Jones, your City Council representative for District 3, and I am here today with some special guests, Ms. Jennifer and Ms. Jewel. We're going to jump right in. I'm going to take about 6 minutes and do the last of our updates. And again, young ladies, as I speak, you all have questions, definitely jump in, but I'll make this quick because I want to definitely let the community know about what you're doing, your work with the youth, and some other things that you all are doing, because I'm excited. A lot of times we have some great people in the community doing a lot of great things, and they're just not known. Like, I know both of you all ladies to a certain extent, and you're not out there for notoriety. You're just doing it because that's the right thing to do. I can relate to that because that's me. Titles don't mean anything to me, and anything. I just do what I know I'm supposed to be doing. All right, so very quickly as it relates to updates, just want to pull this in very quickly. As you all know, we did do a community, District 3 community collective that we started. Ms. Jennifer, you were a part of that, and you'll learn more about that as well. And basically throughout my district, I put together our community watch leaders because I wanted us to be a unified front. And our first meeting was phenomenal. And so what that means is additional support for each area from Yatkin Road, Murchison Road, Rose Hill Road, Ramsey, wherever you are within the district, you're going to have some support. So we're coming together quarterly, and discussing some very important items as it relates to our district and the city, so that how we can mobilize together and come together. And it's beautiful because I'm setting it up and I'm standing outside. That was my job. This has been a vision for mine for a while. And so if one area needs some support, they can pull from another area and we can all go in together. So that's going to be key. So before I do my updates, Ms. Jewel, can you introduce yourself for us again, and I'll jump back in and then we'll come together collectively. Well, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Jewel. I'm with the Carolina Panthers basketball team and nonprofit community support organization. So I coach grown men, but those grown men are also giving back to the community from Fayetteville to South Carolina now. So we're kind of very proud of them. It's definitely been a blessing and a great opportunity to be able to be a real bridge to fill that gap in between community and businesses and community and the youth and their families out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I met Ms. Joel when we had a community outing with OCS with Kevin Brooks and company over at Country Club Church of Christ. She was out there, her and her organization working with our youth. So we're going to dive back in with that. Lastly, as it relates to updates from us, I just want to let you know again, we did have our data center discussion that will be ongoing. We put a pause in it very quickly. I can feel it, so I'm gonna just leave that there right now. We are getting ready to hear some information about moratoriums, what they are, what it consists of. And so for me, I'll make this quick. I do want to hear more information. I want to hear from PwC. You know, I know we buy our energy, PwC, which the city owns, buys their energy from Duke. So I want to hear from PwC, what would any construction of data centers look like? I want to hear from those individuals because, again, as the city, our part is going to deal with the land use part, and I get that. So there are other components with other entities where they can share their input. I want to know from those. I want to hear from those individuals. What does that look like? Things of that nature. So for me, I'm wanting to know more due diligence, and I see you looking at me. So I'll toss it to you, and then we'll open this up.
So when it comes to the data centers, I think the biggest thing is understanding the impact it would have on your power bill. They're exempt from the sales and use tax, which means the residents will be the ones to take that cost. And even the governor speaks on it himself, and he says that it will really contribute to a higher power bill. So right now we're already venting and frustrated that our electric bill went up. So just imagine when these data centers come and they get the credit while you're footing the bill. So if you're upset now, just imagine what will happen then. So I think everybody should take a moment to look into that, the credits and exemptions they get, and you'll understand more.
And you said that came from our governor.
Came from our governor.
You all Google that and you'll find out, and I'm going to park that there. I know it's an important decision, but again, I'm holding true to my word. As it relates to updates, I want you all to pay attention. Again, our the Dogwood Festival is coming up April 24th through the 26th. That's this weekend. Please make sure that you go and support this great event. It's been a staple in our area. Also on May 2nd, I'm going to give you some dates because I know we meet every third Tuesday of the month. So May 2nd, Captain Sean Collins Car Show. All right, make sure, and you can find these on the city website. We'll also have May 9th, the Children's Mental Health and Wellness Fair. You can contact Miss Tina Smart there. Again, go to the website. May 16th is our As One Prayer Walk with Mr. Jeremy Wright. I often participate in that as a walk for our city. All right, so I just want to give you those updates. And then lastly, as you mentioned earlier, as you have heard, we did make a decision as it relates to the MacArthur Road Sports Complex. That's right off 295, right near Tiffany Pines, between Tiffany Pines and Eureka Springs. Matter of fact, let's bring it closer. I-295, right there. It's a big chunk of land there, 70-plus acres there. We did approve that. So there's going to be 12 ballparks out there, baseball parks. There's going to be different amenities there. And so that was approved. Back in 2022, we went to D.C. to advocate. We needed a long-term lease from the military, and I happened to go up there at that time with then Mayor Pro Tem Kathy Jensen. And we just the collective council did a good job because it literally took an act of Congress to get that done. So I know people were like, "Well, this started in 2016 with the Parks and Rec bond." Yes, things take time. So we got that done. So we are good to go. Make a note: April 30th. That's next week.
Yes, it is.
At 10 a.m. we will have our groundbreaking. All right. So I wanted to answer that question for you. We'll dig more into that. And lastly, definitely not least, I told you, and you will get more information on this at a later session. Just wanted to remind the community, I was sharing with them about the Murchison Road project that has been around, that has been in process for many years. Whenever you hear road projects, especially for these major thoroughfares, it takes a long time. So everything I'm getting ready to share in 1 minute, you can find at NCDOT and find that information. But it's a road widening project that will cover Murchison Road, again, from 295 all the way up to 401, which is basically near the Hardee's area there, if you're familiar with that area. But there will be road widening. There will also be a median there in the road. There will be a 10-foot wide multi-use path. In other words, the best way I can describe it as like a double sidewalk. So individuals with wheelchairs and things of that nature, they'll be able to maneuver. It would also include a new 5-foot sidewalk as well. And so just wanted to give you all an update. That's been going on for some years. So they're doing some purchasing of right-of-ways and things of that nature. So I wanted to make sure that we stay abreast of that. And of course, you know, yours truly is going to follow up with that as well. Lastly, as it relates to updates, there will also be a road widening of Ramsey Street. Again, this is years off, but again, I like putting information out there because as you hear information about public meetings, you need to run to it. But again, you can find information about the Ramsey Street road widening, which is, again, this is years off, but again, I want to put it out there. That's just what I like, giving out information so we can work towards a common goal. But go to NCDOT and you can look up TIP Transportation Improvement Projects. You look them up, Murchison Road, Ramsey Street, they will be there. So I'm going to close my mouth now, and I'm going to allow these two young ladies to reintroduce themselves. I wanted to bring them on because they deal with youth, and you deal with, again, youth, their parents, siblings, because it's a family effort. And so I want to say this very candidly because I appreciate you both. I really, really do, because I want to say this to parents. As your children become adults, you cannot control their actions. Think about when we were younger. We made mistakes, right? We made some mistakes. And it's not because we didn't come from good households. You know, people make that assumption. I've heard from both of you all, and it's just people make that assumption, and it's just not true. We made our mistakes. Our parents told us, don't go. Guess what? We went. We did. We did. So I'm bringing a point home. So parents, stop condemning yourself, asking yourself, what could I have done better? Where did I go wrong? You didn't. We are adults, and you cannot control adult decisions. So on the flip side, what you all deal with, young people, not just the youth, young adults, and some adults wild out too, right? When I say adults, everybody, young adults, I'm talking about those 32 and even above, young adults, let's group everybody. Be mindful who you associate yourself with, right? And this is this is something both of you all deal with, because sometimes you can be around folks that's doing crazy stuff that's not even in your DNA, and you get caught up in the mix. So I want to thank you all for dealing with that. So with that being said, Ms. Jennifer, reintroduce yourself, share about your organization, then Ms. Joel, and then I'll just ask you all some questions about that. But I wanted to bring that up because both of you have aspects where you deal with the parents and things of that nature. So I really need the parents to know, right? Both of you all are parents, so you know it's not when you do the best you can with your children, and you do it and you push forward. So thank you all for what you do in the community.
So again, my name is Jennifer Jones. I am the founder of the Julia Maye Community Foundation. And so with saying that, the Julia Maye Community Foundation, first I have to start by saying the city really does support its community. It's waiting for you.
Wait, can you say that louder? Can you say that louder?
The city does support its community, the city of Fayetteville. Yes.
Yeah,
So
okay. Go ahead. Thank
for
you.
us to get started, we had to see that there was a need. Where was the gaps? Where was the lack of resources? You come up with the plan because you see it yourself. Well, that's where the city come in, because the Economic and Community Development and the Office of Community Safety says, hey, we have a micro grant. We also have a capacity building workshops, and they're now open to the public. So if you do see this come across your news feed, please attend the sessions. They have so much information for individuals, organizations, community leaders who don't know how to get started but have the idea. And that's where we came along. We had the idea, and it's like, okay, we're doing things that's feeding, partnering and volunteer with other people, but what else can we do? It's three workshops, and from the beginning to the end, it shows you everything. They guide you. You really will not leave without any questions not being answered. So to talk about the Julia Maye Community Foundation, first I have to give flowers to the City of Fayetteville, the Economic Community Development, and the Office of Community Safety for allowing us to even start. And so what we do on the north side of Murchison Road and surrounding neighborhoods, because we try not to turn people away.
Yes.
So we started with offering feedings and getting people out to engage with them. A lot of people on the north side of Murchison Road get judged because that side is like the blight, of the city. It's the poverty, the low income, and they could just be walking down the street and somebody drive by and turn their nose up. But they have a story. They have a family. They're in need of healing. Mental healing is one of the biggest things that is needed. And we came out and talked to them. And so from there, it went from giving away clothes and food to now offering community resources. And District 3, Dr. Jones, Councilman Jones, really is there to say, hey, where can we assist you with the resources for your community? There is never not a time that if he doesn't have the information, he doesn't share it. So I really appreciate
Thank you.
that.
That means a lot.
You really pour into your district, and you see where the community is, and you try your best to help any way you can. So I'm grateful for even being in an organization that is existing to partnership with the city and the councilman. That means a lot. Right now, we heard from the community, the comments on social media, what about the senior citizens,
Yes.
So we created the Good Day Club. And what that is bring good days to our senior citizens, whether you are in a facility or you're living at home, because we know some our people, they don't want to leave their home. That's their comfort. That's their memories.
Yes.
So, we gather volunteers, we take donations, and we like to bring them baskets with toiletries, hygiene products, things of entertainment, puzzles, something that keeps them engaged and let them know that you poured into your community. Now let us pour into you. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. That is positive.
Then we have our young parents program. It's a Mother's Promise. Currently it's 24 years and younger. But again, we listen to our community, and a lot of them are saying, hey, we're 26, we're 27, we're young parents too.
Yes.
So as we can get volunteers that understand the need for young parents without judgment,
good.
Then we can increase the age of the support. But we really want you to come in. We give you the place to just be and understand that things happen. We don't have to advocate for you to do it again, but to put you in a position where there's something else that you can do for you and your family, bridge the gap in the communication, because being a young parent, it does tear the rift in the family, whether it's disappointment, the lack of resources to carry, the extra feeding of the mouths, the children. So we're here to say, hey, you come, you get supported, and bring your children, and they're mentored. So it's a family of healing together.
I love that, because a lot of times I love that non-judgmental aspect, because a lot of times I think we forget sometimes that we were look, I'm still young. That we were younger at one time. We made some mistakes. We made some mistakes, and so if all of us were constantly judged by what we made back then, none of us would be where we are. I mean, from the White House down to local level. I'm just using all of that as an example. Any of us. So I love that aspect, because it's letting them know, hey, you made a misstep. It's not the end of the world. How can we fix it? Because it doesn't define you. I think when the support that you're given, if we continuously bash people about their mistakes, you're going to keep them there. And it's like, I'm hopeless where if you think this. So just tearing that off. People do change, and they can change regardless. You're always going to have the naysayers and gainsayers. So I love to hear that. And one interesting fact, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Ms. Jewel. We did have our community-wide meeting. Doug and the district met, dialogue with the doc. My community meetings, we met last Thursday. And one of the things that came out of that, interestingly, out of the first 3 priorities was senior services, was the homelessness, things dealing with homelessness, and number 3 was the rebranding of the city, watching our words. And so I wanted to throw that out there. Also, in that regards, I did get a message May 6th. I forgot this one. Excuse me. May 6th, as it relates to our seniors, there will be a senior living expo at the Department of Social Services, May the 6th. All right. So now let's turn to this young lady to my left. I met her again at one of our events with OCS and Mr. Kevin Brooks during one of our that was one of the largest in the city. There were a lot of youth out there and a lot of mentors. So, Ms. Jewel, can you introduce yourself and tell us about that experience that you had with our youth? And thank you so much, because we're still hearing the positive about what you all did there.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. First, I want to thank you for having me again. I'm Jewel with the Carolina Panthers, and Kevin Brooks. Let me tell you, this guy, he is amazing. He just heard of the grapevine about what we do, and he said, we just need you to do what you do. And he just gave us a gym. And when I tell you, just seeing how the kids interacted, and they didn't know me from a can of paint, but they just gave me the energy like I was big sis or I was really their coach. It was really an amazing feeling and environment, and being able to just move throughout. First time meeting Mr. Brooks, and he just gave me the freedom to move throughout the gym, to go upstairs, to see everything that they had going on, the many partners that were there. And to have that, and have not only the youth there, but parents come out and support and just be a part of that and spending time. A lot of people take advantage of, the technology out here, but the parents that actually show up to these events with the children, meeting those people who do this and give back, that's what changes the perception of that stereotype of it's the parents' fault, right? So if we take it upon ourselves to put ourselves in a position to be there with our kids in those youth night situations, yeah, we want that 2-hour break, but let me go in there for at least 10 minutes, see if they're safe, right? And then go on about my way. Come back towards the end, and you can see the fellowship and them winding down, cooling down, and everybody engaging. That's just a great aspect to have all around.
Absolutely.
It was definitely a great opportunity.
Absolutely. So where can we find more about both of your organizations? Because again, I love what you did, just the interactions. One of the things that was done, Mr. Brooks asked the youth, one of the things that came out, and we hear it and people get upset, but I'm going to say it because this is what the youth told us. You were there.
Yeah.
They said, one of the things we do not have anything to do for our age group. And I know people get upset. Well, there's things to do depending on what age group. Now, some families can't afford some of the entertainment things here. So that was one of the consistent things. And they say, you know what, we like this because it wasn't just basketball, it was mentoring. There were several organizations there. I won't get into calling all of their names. And so there's opportunities there. So where can the community find more about what you do? How can they partner with the Carolina Panthers? Can you give them some contact information?
So our website is pantherscare.com, and if you tag us on any social media at pantherscare, it'll pop up. Even on X, we try to not to be up there because it went from Twitter to X. So it's still Panthers _care, and there you'll get live updates of our scores during our basketball season. But there's also on our website, there's a list of resources from the city. We don't like to put stuff out there that we're creating. We like to obviously bridge the gap, so you can actually click on the resources tab and see all the resources that the city has to offer.
Absolutely.
So that and our junior NBA youth clinics and programs. Hopefully we can get our academy started so it'll go beyond sports, which is amazing. So pantherscare.com. If you email info@pantherscare, just type in Panthers Care and everything will pop up.
Thank you. And then you miss Jennifer, I'm getting ready to call you Julia May. Your information so that they can reach out to you as well. And give the dates for your farmers market.
Okay, so with the farmers market, it will be starting May 14th, every second and fourth Thursday at 4616 Murchison Road. That would be May till October. And you can contact us through We Care at Julia May Community Foundation, JULIAMAE. I know sometimes people may put in the MAY and it'll bounce back. All of our social media, Facebook, Instagram is Julia May Community Foundation. And you can contact us at any time.
Thank you so much. And this has been a great show, Dialogue with the Doc, another session. Join us again on the third Tuesday of every month. And I want to thank you all for coming and sharing. And I want to reiterate to our parents something you all said. Do not bear the brunt of your children's decisions. Make sure that you connect with these folks. You've done a good job. Raise them, but don't condemn them. Build them back up. Everyone deserves another chance. And you all are doing that. Thank you so much again. You've been listening to Dialogue with the Doc on WIDU 1600 AM, and we'll see you next month. God bless.